Hello YouTube, this is ChardarYuGiOh here doing an almost obligatory video on the new Forbidden Limited list. And I say almost obligatory because this list is not very interesting. I don't think this is going to change the game a whole lot at all. But anyway, I'm going to go through it and give my impressions on it. Nothing new is banned, which isn't terribly surprising. But the first change is Goyo Guardian, which was forbidden, is back. A lot of people are hyping this card up. It shot up in price on eBay, obviously. But I don't see this card affecting the meta much at all. The only synchros that see a whole lot of play are level 7s and 8s in Sylvans and Mermails, and even then that's pretty limited. Decks that use Goyo as their main monster might show up, but I really doubt it. Gaia gear limited. This is probably the best thing on this list. Gaia have been a pain for too long. First with Gaia Karakuri and now just Gaia. Like, the deck is just annoyingly good. It's not insanely broken by any means, but I'm tired of playing against Gaia, and I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that. So I'm very happy to see that they'll be weakened even slightly. Magician of Faith, which was limited, is now semi-limited. Magician of Faith saw absolutely no play in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Even in Prophecies, so I don't think this will change much. Formula Synchron, which was limited, is now semi-limited. This might see more play with Soul Charge and Quasar decks being a thing, but even then you'd only use one. I don't think this will change anything. Reinforcement of the Army, which was limited, is now semi-limited. Heroes get a slight boost, sort of, not really. Six Samurai, maybe. But there aren't a whole lot of relevant warrior decks around. Maybe with the new hero support coming out in the OCG, maybe this will matter eventually, but I don't see this changing a whole lot. And finally, Dimensional Prison and Mirror Force, which were both semi-limited, are now completely off the list. Dimensional Prison, I have no idea why it was put on the list in the first place. And finally, Mirror Force. The only interesting thing about this is that this is actually Yu-Gi-Oh! History right here. This is the first time since Mirror Force has been released all the way back in Metal Raiders, if anyone remembers that far back. This is the first time Mirror Force has been at 3 since then, which shows how the game has developed and evolved, and some would say power creeped. But honestly, I think the game is fairly well balanced. Maybe some cards are overpowered, maybe some decks are overpowered, but as far as balanced against each other, it's not too bad. I don't think 3 Mirror Force will negatively affect the game. I don't think it'll impact the game much at all, honestly. But it's just interesting to see that since the first time in about 10 years that this card has been at 3, and it's not going to change anything. So that is the new Forbidden Limited list. We will have this list until September 30th. My big hopes for then is that Heavy Storm will finally come back. I've been waiting on that for a long time, but there's no indication that that'll change. Or what will change, we will have, after Nationals, this list will take place. We'll have Gen Con to see what the meta is then, and then probably a couple regionals, but there won't be any major events in this format, so this list isn't going to impact the game a whole lot. It'll affect locals, that's about it, at least for me anyway. So that is my impression of the list. It's not very exciting, and peace out, YouTube.